This self-learning video is created by Jagrat Creations. It is on liquidation of companies. I wish to solve one sum on liquidation of company, wherein liquidator's final statement for receipts and payment is required to be prepared. Look at the sum that I intend to solve here before you. This is the sum which I wish to solve here before you. The following is the balance sheet of Messrs. Unfortunate Limited as on 31st of December 2016. Share capital 4,000, preference share of rupees 100 is 4 lakhs, 2,000 equity shares of rupees 100 is 75 per share paid up 1,50,000, 6,000 equity shares of rupees 10 is 60 per share paid up 3,60,000, 5% debentures having a floating charge 2 lakhs, interest on debenture, interest outstanding on debenture having a floating charge over the asset 10,000, creditors 2,20,000. Land and building, plant and machinery, patent, stock, etc. assets are given to you. On that date, company went into liquidation. The dividend on preference share were in arrears for 2 years. Arrears are payable on liquidation as per the articles of the company. Creditors include loan of rupees 1 lakh. Mortgage on land and building, the asset realized follows. Land and building, plant and machinery, patent, stock, sundry debtors. The expenses of liquidation amounted to 21,800. Liquidator is entitled to a commission of 3% on assets realized except cash at bank, and the commission of 2% of the amount distributed amongst the unsecured creditors. Preferential creditors amount to 30,000. So these preferential creditors are considered as a part of these creditors, and we are required to pay remuneration to liquidator for the payment made to unsecured creditors, and preferential creditors are also holding the status of unsecured creditors. So they are basically unsecured creditors, but they are given priority for payment as per law. That's why they are preferential. So we shall give remuneration to the liquidator for payment made to preferential creditors also, which is a part of these unsecured creditors. All payments were made on 30th June 2017. Prepare liquidator statement of accounts. Now, here I am going to prepare a liquidator statement of accounts from the given information. Now, as you know, company is an artificial person come into existence by the operation of law. Same way, existence of company can be brought to an end by the operation of law. That process is known as winding up. And in that winding up process, a person appointed to administer the winding up is known as liquidator. And the job of a liquidator is to realize all assets of the company and make payments to the creditors and the claimants against the company in a manner prescribed under the law. So, after realizing all the assets, the liquidator is first required to pay fully secured creditors. Then liquidation expenses and liquidator's remuneration is to be paid. Then preferential creditors are paid. Then debenture holders having floating charge over the assets are paid. Then unsecured creditors are paid. Then preference share capital is paid. At last, payment is made to equity shareholders. On the basis of this understanding, we are going to prepare liquidator statement for receipts and payment. This is the details given to us. This is the balance sheet given to us in the sum. And this is the cash and bank balance that I write first of all on the receipt side. This is available for distribution, so I write cash and bank balance. These are the details of assets realized given to us. Land and building realized 2,40,000. Plant and machinery 4 lakhs. Patents, stock, debtors. This is the total value realized for assets. When we have read the sum, I have told to you that there are fully secured creditors who has got a charge over land and building. So first payment is to be made to fully secured creditors. The creditors include loan of rupees 1 lakh on mortgage of land and building. So proceeds of land and building are 2,40,000, which is more than the loan amount taken or amount borrowed. So 1 lakh is the amount borrowed, and the asset charge has a realized value of 2,40,000. So they are fully secured. All the 1 lakh rupees are fully secured because the amount realized for the asset, land and building is 2,40,000, which is more than 1 lakh. So first I have to make a payment to fully secured creditors 1 lakh. After that I am required to pay liquidation expenses 21,800. Then liquidator's remuneration 3% of the amount realized for the assets. So 9,80,000 into 3%. I am required to pay 2% of the amount distributed to unsecured creditors, means preferential creditors are also a segment of unsecured creditors. So 2% of amount paid to preferential creditors. Yet I have not made any payment to preferential creditors, so I keep a filler. 2% of the amount paid to unsecured creditors, yet I have not paid any amount to unsecured creditors, so I haven't calculated remuneration. The next payment is preferential creditors. They are 30,000. So when you make a payment of 30,000 to preferential creditors, you are required to pay remuneration at the rate of 2% thereon to the liquidator. So 30,000 into 2%. Now after making payment to preferential creditors, I am required to make payment to debenture holders holding floating charge over the asset. There are 2 lakhs. So 2 lakhs is the face value of the debenture. Outstanding interest till the date of liquidation is 10,000. They are paid on 30th June. So this is 31st December and payment is made on 30th June. Should we pay them 6 months interest? That depends upon, do we have sufficient funds to pay unsecured creditors? If the answer to the question is yes, then we have to pay this 6 months interest. So let us work out, do we have sufficient funds to pay unsecured creditors? For that we are required to work out the available cash balance just to find out, do we have sufficient funds to pay the unsecured creditors? Look at it. This is the cash receipts. So far this much payments are made. So 3,91,800. Cash balance available 6,84,000. Unsecured creditors are 2,90,000. Out of that 1 lakh are fully secured. They are already paid. 30,000 preferential creditors are also paid. So 1,30,000 is already paid. So 2,90,000 minus 1,30,000 remaining amount is to be paid. And we have got sufficient cash balance to pay these unsecured creditors. So now we should pay 6 months interest to the debenture holders. So on 2 lakhs at the rate of 5% for 6 months. Additional interest to be paid for 6 months because the date of liquidation is 31st of December and the payment is made on 30th June. So 6 months interest is to be paid to debenture holders because we have got sufficient funds to pay unsecured creditors. Now this is the payment to debenture holders. Now 5,000 is the additional payment made. So in light of that, how much is the cash balance? 391 plus 5,000, 396. And the cash balance available to me is 6,43,200. Now I should pay unsecured creditors. How much are the unsecured creditors? 2,90,000 minus 1 lakh minus 30,000. 1,60,000 are the unsecured creditors. So unsecured creditors could be paid totally from 6,43,200. So they are paid 1,60,000. We have got sufficient funds to pay unsecured creditors. Now unsecured creditors are paid, so we are required to pay 2% remuneration to the liquidator for the payment made to unsecured creditors. So 1,60,000 into 2%, 3,200. So this is how additional payment made to unsecured creditors is 1,60,000 and the remuneration there on 3,200. So in the payment I will make a addition of 1,63,200. So that works out to be 5,60,000 and now my revised cash balance is 4,80,000. Now after that I am required to pay preference share capital. Preference share capital is 4 lakhs. Dividend is in arrears for 2 years. So 4 lakh into 6% into 2 years. 48,000 dividend to be paid. So 4,48,000 paid to preference shareholders. After that, how much is the cash balance? 560 plus 448. So now I have got a cash balance of 32,000 available for equity shareholders. Now there are 2 types of equity shares. One is 75 paid up and the second is 60 paid up. So what I do, I prepare memoranda cash account wherein I am going to demand notionally all calls on both the types of shares so that they become fully paid up. And by that I will come to know how much is the cash balance available to pay all fully paid up shares. So let me prepare memoranda cash account. There I write 32,000. Now I am required to demand the last call on 2,000 shares, 25 each. Notional last call. 6,000 shares into 40 each. So on 8,000 shares, both the shares are of 100 each, 100 each. So face value is same. So after they are fully paid up, both the class of shares are identical. So on 8,000 shares, total cash available is still at 22,000. So if I work out the refund per share, it works out to be 3,22,000 divided by 8,000 shares. So refund per share 40 rupees and 25 naya paisa. So on this 2,000 shares at 40 rupees and 20 naya paisa, refund is made. So that works out to be 2,000 into 40.25. That works out to be 80,500. We have demanded 50,000. We are required to make notional payment 80,500. Difference between the two will be recorded on the payment side. That is the net amount paid by the liquidator. On B type of shareholders, 2,40,000 is demanded and 6,000 into 40.25 is being paid. So they are paid 2,41,500. 1,500 payment is more than the amount demanded, notionally demanded. So notional demand is 2,40,000. Notional payment, notional refund is 2,41,500. Difference between the two will be recorded in the payment side of liquidator statement. So 50,000 and 80,500. Difference recorded on the payment side. That is actual payment 30,500 and 240 and 241,500. Payment made is only 1,500. So 31 plus 2, 32,000 is the cash balance. I had a balance of 32,000. So my now liquidator statement, receipts and payment total will tally, will be exactly same. So let me have a total of receipt side and payment side. If you work out, that works out to be 10,40,000 and here also it is 10,40,000. This is how liquidator statement for receipts and payment is prepared. I have tried to explain you this sum. I feel that you have followed all these things. Thanks to all.